Yes. Again, I cannot imagine Ray's deck running through the tournament the way that it has if his matchup against Abzan Control, our most popular deck on the second day, wasn't very positive.
Calhoun on Mulligan a 6 as game number 2 begins between these two players.
And Ray has run right through this tournament up thus far.
He's destroyed this tournament.
I think he has one loss, which we captured on camera. Rob Vaughn beat him.
In the last round of the Swiss, Ray knocked out Jim Davis.
Yeah.
Because Jim couldn't draw in, and Ray didn't have any interest in conceding, so they just played, and Ray beat him too. So there you go.
So I believe Ray went through the Swiss rounds with no buys at 13-1-1.
Yep.
I believe is his record. First of all, seed, won his top 8 match, up a game here in the semifinals, and could be potentially having a showdown with Todd Anderson in the finals momentarily.
Mana Confluence is land number 2 here for Tautic. And there's a Death Miss Raptor. So the thing about this Abzan Rally deck is he can really, again, play a normalized game, but he's got 4 copies of Galactic Company. He's got 4 Rally Ancestors. His Death Miss Raptor just got exiled by Abzan Charm. But there's a lot that's going on as he draws a copy of Galactic Company for the turn.
And the cards like Galactic Company, Death Miss Raptor to a lesser extent, Den Protector, they allow him to keep up against people who are just trying to kill stuff. I mean, he has a lot of staying power.
There's another Death Miss Raptor. Here's a Sansep Citadel. Pass that turn back. Calhoun picks up a copy of Siege Rhino for the turn. And that's on its way. Tautic, oddly enough, playing an Abzan deck with no copies of Siege Rhino.
No copies of Abzan Charm.
Proving that the traditional Abzan standbys are not necessary.
Yeah, Ray's deck is not a Abzan deck, it's a green-white-black deck, if that makes sense. There's no Abzan synergies really going on here. I actually don't know if there's any gold cards in the entire list, and a Fenza in the sideboard.
Yeah, barely counts.
Yeah.
Galactic Company time. Time to take a look at the top 6. Death Miss Raptor, Elvish Mystic among the cards. Blue Satyr Wayfinder hanging out in there too. And those are the 2 that Tautic will select. Satyr Wayfinder and Galactic Company. So, turn over a couple of cards here. Murder's cutting 3 lands.
Feels like we've been saying this a lot when we've watched Ray play against other mid-range to control decks. He's ahead on the board right now, and he hasn't even touched Rally yet. That's for phase 2 if we even get there.
Yeah.
We don't need to rush that in.
It's kind of a nice backup plan, I suppose. Now, saying Rally as a backup plan is weird, but that's available.
That's where we're at.
Yeah.
You see Ray thumbing a Horospex and a Husk. It looks like he is going to block, but it looked like he was thinking, no, my Raptor is actually better than a Siege Rhino here.
Yeah. Here's Downfall is going to block the Raptor. Excuse me, it's going to take out the Raptor, which means trample damage will happen. So Tautic's down to 10, Calhoun at 20. It's got a little bit of work to do. Life total's a little low.
Yeah, Ray's taking some hits here. He can just, if he feels like the race is getting out of control for him, though, he can simply say, all right, here's Grim Horospex and Nantuko Husk, your turn. Good luck attacking through Nantuko Husk and Death Miss Raptor.
Sure.
And if Christopher pulls the trigger with removal spells, all right, well, you sacrifice the Husk, draw a card with the Horospex. A lot of dimensions to this deck.
Well, there's the Husk. And it's a morph. Raptor might be on blocking duty here.
Interesting to see Ray play the Horospex face down.
Yeah.
Given the board state, that feels like it's really good to have it face up because maybe Christopher does something crazy, maybe he's willing to trade, and you get him. Unless Ray's trying to run some bluff here, where he's saying, okay, this is Death Miss Raptor, this is Den Protector, maybe hoping Chris does something different with his turn, and then Ray can untap and go crazy. But
well, Ray does have a little flash to his game.
I would have preferred, I think, a face-up Horsepex there.
Here goes downfall in hand here for Calhoun. Gonna take care of the morph. A little scared of what that could be. Ray will sacrifice that to Nantuko Husk, and now Chris just has to pass the turn back.
Yeah, no attack to make because Ray can double block with the Death Mist Raptor and the Husk.
Yeah.
And that's not a good exchange for Chris.
Tautic will start by playing a Temple of Malady. Top card gonna stay on top. Here comes Death Mist Raptor and Nantuko Husk.
Ray just sitting back here with Rally of the Ancestors, ready to go if Chris makes a move.
You might be able to kill him if he says no blocks.
Yeah.
Depending on how many creatures in the graveyard, because Ray can say, all right, I'll sacrifice both of my Satyr Wayfinder and my Elvish Mystic, and then rally everything back and be able to kill you all in one shot. Doesn't look like that's what's going to happen. Just pass the turn back instead. Calhoun down to 13. You said it best. There are a lot of dimensions to this deck.
Yeah, I think Ray doesn't want to get in a position where Hero's Downfall or Abzan Charm does too much damage here, so he can just chip away like this. Eventually, Christopher has to make a move. Then you could rally, bring back everything, draw a million cards.
Here comes the Rhino.
And it's so great to be in Ray's position here because the rally is so safe. You're going to draw a bunch of cards regardless. You're not counting on this to kill Christopher. You're trying to win kind of a normal game right now. And even if he has a removal spell, okay, you take some points of damage here.
Looks like with Rally on the stack, he's going to sacrifice that Death Mist Raptor. So Wayfinder will come in, that'll trigger. So long as he does remember his trigger with the Wayfinder. And it looks like he may have forgotten. Now he remembers, and he gets it. So, Sansom Citadel. We got Mogus Marauder and a bunch of other stuff in the graveyard. And there's your block.
And again, this sets up Ray where he can, he gets to see Rhino off the table. He gets to untap. With the trigger on the stack from Rally, he can sack everything to Nantuko Husk. That's a lethal attack. So if Chris has some awesome response here, Ray's fine. And if Chris has nothing, he's dead.
Yep. He's got something.
Looks like utter end for the horror specs.
An expensive way to get it done.
It's a little obnoxious for Ray because now he has to decide, does he want to, sacrifice everything to the Husk now to draw a bunch of cards, or does he leave it there so the Husk can untap and attack, but he can also sell some cards? If I'm Ray, I'm trying to play this pretty conservative. Just get the Rhino off the table, draw cards as you can, and don't get yourself in a position where you're too exposed to any one thing.
Yeah, he just has the ability to outgrind the Obs on control deck.
Exactly. So there's no reason to do anything too extreme.
Sacrifice Horsepex 2. And Tuco Husk. A Rhino is going to kill both those creatures. Husk is left alone. But Calhoun's the one with only one card left. And Tuco has the draw here. And Husk was already on the battlefield. It wasn't part of the rally. Here's 4 mana. Might be Collected Company time. Yep. Take a look at the top 6. Liliana, Satyr Wayfinder, Grim Horsepex.
Oof.
This deck is pretty good, man. I feel like we're going to see this week after week after week, which is someone else figuring out how to do this rally thing.
He's just winning games without having to rally.
Yeah. You know, in a way, when we saw Andrew Jessup a little bit earlier this weekend, he was just playing a green-black Collected Company deck. It felt like this is what he was kind of trying to do, which was just kind of grind you out and slog you down, but didn't have the ability to cast rally because it wasn't in his deck.
Yeah, he was a beatdown deck that had Collected Company as a backup plan. This feels like a Collected Company rally deck that can go beat down as a backup plan.
Yeah. Or in this case, as we're watching this game, it might be the first plan.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to go all in against Obzon. They have a lot of removal spells and a lot of ways to fight that sort of game, but Ray can just keep jabbing this like this. Chris is getting really outclassed in the card economy battle, and if Chris ever puts his defenses down, then Ray can go for the kill, but there's no rush.
Liliana and Grim Horsepex.
And if Ray's got some trashy creatures left over in his hand, he can, again, pump the Husk up a bunch, get in some damage this turn, flip Liliana, draw some cards. Doesn't have to do anything too... He doesn't have to expose himself to any significant risk.
Hey, maybe Ray trying to figure out if he can win the game this turn.
Well, there is a copy of Ultimate Price in Christopher's list. 2 more on the sideboard. I would be surprised if they came in. And again, I don't think Ray has to incur any risks. He can just keep playing like this.
Another Husk. Start by sacrificing here. That'll bring a token along with it. So right now, Nantuko Husk is a 4/4.
And Christopher's only got 1 card in his hand too, so Ray can just plus the Liliana, see what's going on, and then kill him.
Yep.
So it's a good backup plan too.
Got pretty good control of things. There might be something he wants to reanimate. Mogus Marauder, I believe, is in the graveyard now.
He's down to 1 card in hand. I would just plus here and see what's up. It's possible he's a creature short right now.
Yeah, I think he can deal 11. So I like this a little bit better, a little bit safer.
Yeah.
We'll sacrifice a zombie. It's interesting to see how much you're supposed to move in. Liliana's going to move up now, yep, so discard. Just Urborg over there for Chris. And, you know, on this turn, Chris has got to have a big draw. It's a copy of Ugin. Well,
sort of.
That's...
You need to be more specific.
Yeah, I did. It was a
big castable draw
yeah.
is what he needed that turn.
Oh, Rally the Ancestors, the draw.
All right, well, this seems like you can just plus Liliana, whatever.
I would have liked plussing first there, just to clear the card.
It doesn't matter.
But yeah, it doesn't matter. Ray Tautic's going to win this match here over Chris Calhoun, 2-0. Obzon Rally's going to take care of Obzon Control. And what a finals we're going to have here. And we've got the #1 overall seed who has destroyed this tournament with a very innovative deck, and Ray Tautic against Todd Anderson, who has the most Open Series top picks of all time, playing Ban Heroic.
And I think this is